When I saw him, he looked pretty normal. Something did feel off about him.
Those words coming from a hairdresser who realized the person in her chair would soon be led away in handcuffs, wanted for a double murder at Devil's Den State Park. That's where we're starting tonight. For THP 11 News at 6, I'm Rolly Hoyt.
And I'm Faith Woodard. Authorities today gave several updates on the investigation hours after arresting the person they believe killed a couple on Sunday.
So we got that word late last evening. Andrew McGann is the man's name, arrested for the deaths of Clinton and Kristen Brink. We've got video in today from that salon where McGann had apparently tried to get a haircut yesterday.
Yeah, the video then cuts to moments later where McGann can be seen being put in handcuffs.
So Arkansas State Police announcing in their news conference this afternoon that it took more than 500 tips from the public to track down the suspected killer.
Yeah, our Carter Thweet was in the room when the press conference went live. He joins us tonight in studio with everything that's being shared. Carter?
That's right, Faith and Rolly. Police said that pictures and videos from the public helped them identify Andrew McGann's car, which is how they tracked it to that Springdale barbershop where he was arrested yesterday while trying to get his hair cut. But the main takeaway from today is that investigators are as close to certain as they can be that McGann committed these murders, and they're ready to use the full weight of the law against him.
We did confirm this morning that our suspect's DNA has been a positive match to the DNA that we suspected to belong to our suspect at the scene.
In addition to that, Colonel Mike Hagar says a search of Andrew McGann's residence yielded items consistent with being involved in the murder of Clinton and Kristen Brink. And while officers wouldn't give specifics on what McGann has said since his barbershop arrest,
during an interview with investigators, the suspect indicated that he did commit these murders.
Hours and hours were put into this case by investigators, with Colonel Hagar describing them as absolutely exhausted. Washington County Prosecuting Attorney Brandon Carter summed up well what it's like to capture a suspect knowing that young children are now without their parents.
Although today is a good day for law enforcement, there's a shadow over it because of the tragedy that occurred on Saturday.
I asked what could come next for McGann.
Do you know yet if you'll pursue the death penalty in this case or what kind of consequences you might seek?
This case certainly has the aggravators that exist where a jury should get to decide what the punishment for this defendant is, and it's my intention to pose that to a jury. So the state will not be waiving the death penalty in this case.
And the press conference ended with something Hagar says is often left out.
We've spoken to the family quite a few times over the last several days, and what we heard consistently is what a loving mother and father they were, loving husband and wife that they were towards each other. They absolutely protected those girls to their fullest extent. To the point that it cost them their lives.
We also learned today that the weapon used in the attack was a knife. No motive has been identified. Investigators even say they have no reason to believe the victims and the suspect knew each other at all. McGann has his first hearing set for tomorrow at the Washington County Jail at 7:45 a.m.
Thank you, Carter, for that report. Storms swept their way through the region this morning into the afternoon hours, produced a lot of lightning and also very heavy rainfall across parts of the area, especially southwest Arkansas. We still are contending with some moderate to heavy rain at times for Hempstead County, Nevada County, also into Ouachita County. This will have to rain itself out, and that may not happen until after 8 o'clock or so. Here in the metro, we're primarily dry, but there's still a few showers just off to the west into Pope County around Russellville, and also one lone storm is dying out into Monroe County. Got some rain moving through Montgomery County, Yell County. The heaviest storm staying over into Oklahoma may clip parts of Polk County, and then we have a storm rolling its way through pretty close to Clinton in Van Buren County. So there's going to be showers and thunderstorms scattered in nature through the course of the evening. Where the storms developed early, temperatures today only topped out into the upper 80s, low 90s, but it was 100 in Camden. 98 was the high in Arkadelphia. Current heat index Feels like it's the 70s at this time. The hot spot 100 in Batesville. Tomorrow, we can say goodbye to the extreme heat for the next several days. It's not going to feel like the first day of August, with temperatures only topping out into the mid to upper 80s, and there is a chance of scattered showers. Your weekend forecast looks really pleasant. I'll have more on that forecast coming up.
Nathan, thank you. And the storms he talked about there play a role in this update we've got on a story we first told you about at noon. North Little Rock fire officials ready to blame lightning for causing damage to a roof at a local hotel. It happened at the Residence Inn on Healthcare Drive in North Little Rock. Crews say they got everybody out of the building safely. No reports of any injuries, but you can see from our video today, it did damage parts of the roof and attic.
An arrest has been made today on a person believed to be responsible for a voter issue in Pulaski County. The Attorney General's office had been investigating a discovery within the Pulaski County Clerk's office. It comes after a complaint during the 2024 election, which revealed a ballot mix-up for North Little Rock. According to Attorney General Tim Griffin, a former employee within the Pulaski County Clerk's office is being held responsible. Deborah Smith has been arrested for switching the precinct of more than 132 people. Smith is charged with 1 count of violation of voter eligibility.
Democrat Chris Jones has filed as a candidate for Arkansas's 2nd district seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. THV 11 finding his statement of candidacy on a federal election website. The physicist and minister submitted it earlier this week. Of course, you'll remember he ran for governor against Sarah Huckabee Sanders in 2022. Getting 35% of the statewide vote, but did well in the counties that make up the 2nd district, Pulaski County especially. Jones had no comment when we asked, but promised more details when he makes a formal announcement soon. Republican French Hill is in his 6th term in the House, and right now he chairs the Financial Services Committee.
Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is planning a trip overseas to talk trade with Israel. During her trip, Sanders will meet with leading companies in agriculture, aerospace, and defense. She's hoping that conversations held there will lead to job growth and investments made to Arkansas. Her father, Governor Mike Huckabee, is the ambassador to Israel. The trade mission follows an overseas trip earlier this year, resulting in a $500 million project in Camden. In a statement sent to our newsroom, the governor calls Israel a hub for innovations. She continues with describing a trip to Israel as somewhere one can, quote, visit for the first time and it feels like coming home, end quote. Several countries are under 24 hours from learning if they must answer a reciprocal tariff.
Yeah, Mexico got another reprieve today. But as Maribel Gonzalez explains, if the higher rates kick in for other countries, it could reshape how Americans do business with the rest of the world.
Is there any wiggle room on steel and aluminum in exchange for any budge on these?
Not a lot, because if I do it for one, I have to do it for all.
President Donald Trump signed multiple executive actions this week, imposing a 50% tariff on Brazil, a 50% tariff on certain copper products, and said India would have to pay a 25% reciprocal tariff and possibly a penalty at the start of August. So what do these changes mean for Americans?
We'll see prices start to creep up.
The move signals an escalation of the Trump administration's trade war, impacting products that are crucial components in a variety of goods like copper, which is used in electronics, machinery, and cars. Also,
Coffee is a good example. It's something that's not grown in the United States.
While these trade talks have produced some wins for the U.S., like some overseas trading partners pledging increased investments, other countries like Canada are not playing ball. If tariffs on Canadian imports like lumber remain in place, a report from the Canadian Chamber of Commerce estimates the average cost of building a home in the U.S. could increase by an additional $14,000 by the end of 2027. And yet, all these tariffs could be changed once again inside a courtroom.
The authority for them is based on the president's emergency powers, and there's a court case pending on that, and the federal circuit could decide that he doesn't have those powers, in which case he's not allowed to levy these tariffs.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
A cold front is slicing its way through the state right now. This cold front will bring us some cooler temperatures, especially for the nighttime lows. In fact, the last time Little Rock dropped below 70 degrees was back on June 15th. Look at what I'm forecasting Sunday morning. And that's for the metro. into the upper 60s. Some locations, upper 50s in North Arkansas. I'll have more in the weekend forecast and let you know how long the cooler weather will stick around.